What's up, Gorilla Nation? It is Relentless here, bringing you yet another Division 2 video. If you happen to be new to the channel, or you're just enjoying the content, then please be sure to ground and pound that like and subscribe button. Also, reach up there, trigger the bell, and turn on post notifications, so that way you never miss a live stream or a video that is uploaded. Well, I know a good majority of you, or most of you, are out there looking for those named weapons, also those gear pieces with perfect talents, and you may not know exactly in the area in which to find these, especially if you're looking only for specific ones. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you all the items that I have found thus far, starting with the weapons first with their perfect talents and the locations in which you can find them. So let's start with the named weapons first. We have the SIG 716 CQB, the Artist Tool. Now it has the perfect rifleman talent, and that is landing headshots at a stack bonus of 12% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Max stack is 5, additional headshots refresh that duration. The source is anywhere in the LZ, the light zone, any PvE activity. Now moving on, we have the Black Friday, which is the M249. It has perfect unhinge, and it can be found primarily in the DZ. Also, we have the Commando SVD. Perfectly Naked is the talent on it, can be found in the LZ and the DZ. Now, that is currently at the Clan Level 30 vendors. And then next we have the Military M870, which is, I'm going to butcher this name, the Cola Libre, which is the Perfect Jazz Hands, which is 20% reload speed, and it can be found in the LZ or DZ. Next we have the Designated Hitter, the SR1. Perfect Reformation is its talent. Headshot kills increase skill repair and heal by 75%. Can be found anywhere in the LZ. Next we have the Ecom's Long Stick, which is the Model 700 with Perfect Ranger, plus 3% weapon damage for every 5 meters. Can be found in both LZ and DZ. Next we have the M-Lines Guard P90 with Perfect Preservation. Killing enemies repair 15% armor over 3 seconds. Headshot kills improve the repair anywhere in the LZ. Now we have the Invisible Hand AUG A3 CQC with Perfect Allegro, which is plus 15% rate of fire. Can be found both in the LZ and the DZ. Then we have the Lightning Rod, the PF45 Perfect Salvage. 75% chance to refill the magazine on kill. Can be found anywhere in the LZ. The October 5th M249, and this is all questionable, and the site that I'm getting this information from, which I'll have that link in the description below, it says it's unobtainable. Next we have the Orbit 586 Magnum Perfect Finisher. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 40% crit chance and 50% crit damage for 15 seconds. Can be found only in the DZ. Next we have the Pinprick, the Covert SRS, Perfect First Blood. First 2 shots out of combat or after reloading deal headshot damage to any body part. Scope 8 times or higher, primarily DZ. The Pyromaniac Police M4, Perfectly Ignited. 40% damage against burning enemies after the second kill. Next shot inflicts burn. D and the LZ. Now we have the Rock and Roll, which is the ACS-12 Perfect Extra plus 50% magazine size, DZ. Safety Distance, the MPX Perfect Outsider plus 150% accuracy and range for 10 seconds after a kill, LZ and DZ. Next we have the Shield Splinter, the F2000 with Perfect Optimist. Weapon damage is increased by 5% for every 10% missing from the magazine. Found in the Ivory Cache from the Hunters. Also, you can find a good bit of these. You can check out the DZ vendors, also the Mendoza vendors, so be sure to check out those reset vendors. But for the most part, these are just the area and locations, excluding the vendors themselves. The Sleipnir, the MG5 Perfect Frenzy. For every 10 bullets in the magazine, gained 4% rate of fire, 4% weapon damage for 5 seconds when reloading from empty. Gunner Field Research. Next, we have the swap chain. This was actually in Mendoza's reset this week. MP7 with perfect Allegro, plus 15% rate of fire, can be found in the LZ and the DZ. The Tabula Rasa military L86 LSW, perfectly steady-handed, landing shots at 4%, handling max stack 10 at max 10% chance to consume buff and refill the magazine. LZ. Now the apartment, the MPX with perfect measured. Top half of the magazine grants plus 20% rate of fire and minus 10% damage at the bottom half of the magazine, but has plus 30% damage. DZ. Next we have the CTAR 21, perfectly measured. Top half of magazine grants 20% rate of fire, and the bottom half 10% minus 10% damage, but have minus 10% rate of fire, and the bottom half plus 30% damage and minus 15% rate of fire. DZ as well. That's the one I'm also looking for. The send-off, the new shotgun, the KSG shotgun. Perfectly rooted. All skill damage and healing is increased by 30% for 15 seconds, once per 60 seconds. Buff lost when exiting cover. The Technician Field Research. Next we have the Virginian 1886 with the perfect boomerang. The perfect boomerang is critical hits have a 75% chance to return a bullet to the magazine. Next shot deals 50% additional damage. Buff lasts 10 seconds and is lost on reload, weapon swap, and exiting combat. DZ. The Tsunami, the tactical SASG-12 with perfect pummel. After 2 kills with body shots, gain 50% weapon damage, and that can be found in the LZ. And that concludes the named weapons. Now let's go on to the perfect named gear and their names and where you can find them. Starting first with Claws Out. The Wyvern Holster, perfect bloodlust. 20% weapon damage on a swap for 5 seconds. And the source is in the Dark Zone. Contractor's Glove, the Petrov Gloves, the Perfect Terminate, which is in Mendoza's vendor reset this week. 40% skill damage on enemy armor, break, and that can also be found in the LZ. Death Grips, the 511 Gloves with Perfect Clutch. 25% health and 2% armor on critical hit, and that can only be found in the Dark Zone. Emperor's Guard, Murakami knee pads, perfectly cloaked. Nearby enemy kills are disrupted for 15 seconds when armor depleted, once every 15 seconds. That can be found in the Dark Zone. Ferocious Calm, Fenris chest piece that has perfect berserk, plus 10% damage for every 20% armor depleted. And that is in the Dark Zone. Firm Handshake, and no, we're not talking about the Dr. Disrespect gun, but we're talking about the Sokolov Gloves. It has perfectly wicked, plus 20% weapon damage for 20 seconds when applying a status effect. LZ and DZ. The Forge, R&K holster with perfect blacksmith, 60% armor repair on sidearm kills, and that can be found in anywhere in the Light Zone. Fox's Prayer, Overlord knee pads, perfectly entrenched. Headshots from cover repair 15% armor. Light Zone. The Motherly Love. Alps gloves with perfect opportunistic. Destroying an enemy's weak point or spot increases its damage taken by 15% for 3 seconds. The Technician Field Research. The Night Watcher. The Hildegard Mask with perfect spotter. Plus 20% weapon damage to pulsed enemies. The Light Zone and the Dark Zone. I actually got most of mine in the Dark Zone. Percussive Maintenance, Alps Backpack with the perfect tech support. Kills by skills and explosions grant 30% skill damage for 10 seconds. In the Light Zone. Pristine Example, Araldi Chest with perfect vigilance. Plus 30% weapon damage when not hit for 4 seconds. And the Light Zone. Punch Druk, the DNH Mask with perfect concussion. Headshots grant 20% headshot damage for 2 seconds. 5 seconds if you're using a marksman rifle. Light Zone. Strategic Alignment. The China Light Backpack with perfect spark. 20% weapon damage after dealing a skill or an explosive damage to an enemy. It can be found in the light zone and in the dark zone. The Sacrifice, Providence Backpack, perfectly on the ropes. 20% weapon damage when both skills are on cooldown. Primarily and only found in the DZ. The Hollow Man, the Yagir Mask with perfectly insulated. 50% hazard protection, found only in the dark zone. Zero Fs, the Badger Tough chest piece with perfectly unbreakable. 100% armor when armor is depleted. Armor kits not consumed for 7 seconds, once every 60 seconds. Can be found in the light zone and dark zone. Now, these are just the ones I found so far, so if I had missed anyone, please leave that in the comment section below, and the general area or even the mission or whatever you're particularly doing, whatever activity, let us know that too in the comment section below, and hopefully I'll continue to update this list in the comment section as more news and more information comes available on further named weapons or talents. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate all the love and support. We'll see you later.